Thank you very much. Before I get started, I just want to congratulate my fellow inductees and all the Hall of Fame members that were up on stage and the ones that weren't here. I can really say that I've received a lot of honors in my career, both in basketball and outside of basketball, and this is probably the best honor I've ever received because of what the university has meant to me in my career. The start, when I came here in 1967, it's actually 1967 to 71 I was here. As a young farm boy out of Maryland, I had close to 100 scholarship offers. I was a high school All-American. And I had visited all my visits. I think back then they gave you 5 visits, and I had visited 4 schools, and last one before I came here was the University of Indiana in Bloomington. I felt that school was too large for me, so when I came here, I really didn't think about the fact that I was going to be the first African-American athlete at the university, because I grew up in a pretty diverse community. And I knew a lot about Miami because of the history of folks moving from the north to Miami. So I felt very comfortable in terms of thinking about coming here. But what really made me, I guess, the defining moment was when I met the players that were already here, the basketball players, on my visit here. And many of them, if they would stand up in the back, they traveled from all over the country. If you guys want to stand up in the back. And many of them come from all over the country, from California, from New Jersey, from Indiana, from DC area, and so forth. So I felt very comfortable because, they had grown up with diversity in their lives, which is such an important piece, diversity in our lives. And they made me feel very comfortable. Even though I got letters, and I'm sure Ray, wherever you are, Ray, sitting out there, got letters from the Klan saying, go home, nigger. And I think there was extra pressure for both myself and Ray in terms of being the first, because we had to be good. We had to be not only good on the football field and basketball court, but we had to be good in the classroom. We had to be good in the community, and that's what I always thought about. That I couldn't do anything stupid because I'm representing a lot of folks that I thought about the future of other African-American athletes. Because at the time, Ray Bellamy was probably one of the only high school football players that a major university would recruit from Florida. And we know how that all turned out as years went by. So there was a little bit of extra pressure. The other piece that had happened at that time, we were just out of, we were in a very turbulent time with the war going on, and also President Johnson had just signed the historic civil rights legislation. So there was a lot of stuff going on. If I would have came a couple years earlier, I wouldn't have been able to stay when we played University of Alabama. I would have had to stay in a separate hotel, like many of the professional baseball players and others had to do in the South. So this was an important time. There were demonstrations on campus. We had just started the Black Student Union on campus. There were a lot of stuff going on. But the thing that really kept me here was my teammates. My roommate, Tom Fox, basketball manager, who I room with, and all the guys that I played with. You know, we were a band of brothers. We were kind of a little bit segregated because we were all poor, regardless of you know, what color or religion we were all poor. So we stuck together and helped each other and shared things with each other. And the other big piece is a young man back then named Gene Gomberg. Zeta Beta Tau fraternity kind of adopted me. And I got to meet a lot of great friends from the fraternity, played on their intramural football teams and so forth. And Gene and I later became business partners. So that was another key moment in my life. But you know, people know I could stand here and talk all night, and I think I have a limit, you know. But I just wanted to give you kind of a feel of what was going on back there. There were a lot of things going on, but the thing that I kept in the back of my mind, and I'm sure Ray did because he wound up being the student body president and did really well, is the fact that we were representing a lot of folks, a very diverse group of folks, to make sure that you know, the future would be great for the university. It would be great for ourselves as well, because the foundation of the work that I do all over the world today started here in Miami, in Coral Gables. That's where my foundation really started for the stuff that I do today. So I want to thank everybody that's here tonight for welcoming all of us tonight. And I love the university. I think all the guys that flew in from all over the country, they love the university, even though we had turbulent times with our basketball program and not having a place to play and playing in Miami, down on Miami Beach at the Convention Center and later on at Dinner Key Auditorium. Some of you may be old enough to remember that. And our program getting dropped after the 71-72 season. You know, but we hung in there, and I can tell you that these guys love the university as much as I do. And I'm just grateful and honored to get this great honor. Thank you very much.
You're the best. Thank you again.